This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 57 and Bellator 282. Solid cards. We're going to go through the pure betting side of each of them. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications and share the video as well. We'll start it with the locks, dogs, props, and then finish out with the parlays. We'll get some cross parlays because we got two cards to talk about here. Let's first go towards the lock side, and we're going to do UFC locks to start things out. So the first lock of the night that I feel for the UFC is Shavkat Rakhmonov. I know the line's ugly, but this is an extremely confident pick. Special prospect versus a proven, top of the line gatekeeping contender, which is really what Neil Magny is. He guards the top of that division well, in that top 15. And I think Shavkat, from what we've seen of the skill set, has the ability to take this far. Striking's incredible. He has a slick submission game too. He's a massive favorite. Looking at the line, minus 380 is best value, but it's more so around minus 400. Magny plus 345 best value. I think Shavkat gets a dominant win, and I actually think he's going to win probably by KO. But the submission side's not impossible, so Rakhmonov inside distance around minus 135. Rakhmonov KO TKO side is plus 215, and then the submission is upwards of plus 300. I feel like Shavkat inside of the distance is a lock in this matchup. I see him winning. Could be a parlay piece, could be a heavy money line assault. I'm going the KO side. I'm saying we're going under, too. I don't think the under is bad here. Under 2.5 rounds at about minus 140. It's not a bad tag. Under 2.5. Rakhmonov by KO. Rakhmonov inside distance as well. And the money line, it's an extremely wide line, but it is Shavkat confidently. And I think he's a very good pick and an exciting fight for him because he's getting a serious jump in competition. The next lock is going to be TJ Brown versus Shanilian. I really feel like TJ Brown should win this fight in essentially all aspects. I'm not super impressed by Shah. Okay stand-up game, but I think Brown's better. I think the wrestling of Brown is also superior. And overall, I think he's a better athlete. I feel like could be a closer line. Minus 205 is the best value. I like Brown to win. I think he's probably getting a decision, which is around minus 215, minus 220. I'm saying TJ Brown for the victory confidently. The decision prop I don't love, but it is there sitting at around plus 130. I'd rather play the over here. I'd rather money line TJ Brown. And I don't think he's a terrible parlay piece as well. I see him winning this fight. 30-27, I'm kind of feeling. I really feel like he's going to get a unanimous decision in this spot. So the decision isn't a terrible play. It's just not a great value prop to attack. TJ Brown for the win with a lot of confidence. That is a lock. The next one that I do think is quality. It's women's MMA, Jin Yufrey. I feel her striking is clearly superior to Vanessa Demopoulos. I feel her physical strength is bounds better. And I also think her top control will be a problem for Demopoulos, who has good jiu-jitsu. Vanessa's got a solid ground game from the bottom, but she'll accept that bottom position. And when you're accepting bottom position like that in the UFC, good way to lose decisions. Granted, against Silvana Gomez-Juarez, locks up a sub. Unlikely that happens with a woman as physically strong, athletic, and experienced as Jin Yufrey and as skilled. I think Frey outstrikes Demopoulos. I think she controls where the fight goes. I think she's going to dictate the pace and win a unanimous decision. Frey, confident pick. She's around minus 275 as a favorite. Demopoulos upwards of plus 235. I'm feeling the over, which is minus 215. I like Frey to win by decision plus 105. That's not a good line. I don't like the props. I like the over at minus 215. I think it probably comes through, but I think Frey, very confident lady here. I do see her beating Demopoulos. She just seems a good amount better, and I really am not feeling super concerned with Demopoulos tapping Frey out from the bottom position. Frey's got some good pressure from the top. Next lock is going to be Sergey Morozov. He is a solid pick. I really think he's going to knock Paiva out. I love the stand-up from him. Minus 132. Paiva, plus 123. Let's note what has to be done, though. Morozov cannot get careless, go file out the tank, just throw it all out there in the first, finish himself out, be gassed, and then Paiva's still there. You have to fight Paiva intelligently. I do think we'll see significant strikes landed by Morozov. I feel like he'll do damage to Paiva, and if say he'll knock him out. I'm going under 2.5. That's upwards of plus 150. Morozov's not a bad money line attack if you're looking to play somebody close money, but you could also go Morozov to win by KO, plus 550. I could see that. Not impossible that he did a club and sub situation, plus 1,000 value for that one, but I'm going KO, Morozov. I like minus 132 money line. I like plus money for the under 2.5 rounds. I say Morozov does get the finish over Raulian Paiva here. I like the striking from range, and I feel that he's a lot more precise and can find that chin of Paiva, who's been hurt in multiple fights, 2 straight, knocked out bad against Sean O'Malley, and I think he's getting knocked out here as well. The next lock is going to be at the top. Arman Tsarukyan over Mateusz Gamrot. I waited a little bit to give some suspense to the people to see if I'd include this one as a lock, but I am. I love Mateusz Gamrot. I think he's an incredible prospect, really great fighter, but he's fighting Arman Tsarukyan, who I think is on the clear path to a contendership. He's a special fighter, extraordinary stand-up, great wrestling, physically very strong, explosive, slick. He looks so technical when he strikes. I love the game of Tsarukyan. I'm picking him to win. I'm leaning the decision side. I respect the hell out of Gamrot, and I do think he's going to go the full. Tsarukyan, minus 273 best value for him. If we look towards betting the overs, I think over 2.5 rounds at minus 170 isn't a bad play if you have that available. Fight goes the distance. I don't like it as much at only plus 100. Tsarukyan to win by decision, plus 175. I like the Tsarukyan money line, maybe the over 2.5, or playing Tsarukyan straight. Like I really feel like, or a parlay piece rather. I think he could be a good addition to some of your plays. I see him winning and beating Mateusz Gamrot. I love Tsarukyan in this fight. I see him working Gamrot over. I think he's just a bit better everywhere, but Gamrot will be in the fight throughout, and I'm seeing 5 rounds of work. Not enough so that I want to play fight goes distance at just plus 100. Great fight. Tsarukyan for the win in the main event. And the final UFC lock, we're still jumping to Bellator because we got more locks to talk about. It's going to be the side of Mario Batista. Minus 162 Batista, Kelleher plus 148. I like Brian Kelleher as a fan, but I really think Batista's going to control him against the cage and probably win this fight on the scorecards. I think we're going the over here, which is close money for the over, minus 120. I see it going the full 3. Bautista for a decision win, which is the official pick, is plus 185. I do think he gets it done by a unanimous decision. I don't think that's a bad prop to play, is the decision actually in this fight. And it's not a terrible money line around minus 170. Mario Batista to get the hand raised. I see him beating Brian Kelleher. I like Kelleher a lot. He's a fan favorite type of guy. Good style. But I think Batista wears on him against the cage. Physically stronger, more athletic guy. And I don't see Kelleher having a ton of success standing up and hurting Mario Batista. But those are, I guess, I got to include one more. This one is a true lock, but I just looked at the line and I said, wow, I don't even want to talk about it. And I like Nate Maness a lot. Guys, if you've been following my channel for a long time, when I was like no subscribers, Nate Maness was willing to do an interview with me. So I got a lot of love for Nate Maness. He's fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. The line is extremely terrible. Kind of like the lock section should be a Nurmagomedov. I'm not going to go deep into it, but just to give you the line for it, Nurmagomedov minus 862, Maness plus 700. I got a lot of love for Nate Maness. We'll talk more about that matchup a little bit later on the show. Let's talk some Bellator some Bellator locks. If you guys haven't yet, smash the like button. We're talking about my boy Nate Maness, and I'm getting hype on dogs. But I want to talk locks for Bellator. What do I see as highly likely? The lines aren't great. Especially for this one. Danny Sabatello. He's going to beat Higo. Minus 550, minus 485 best value. There's nothing really there. You can't get a ton out of that. Over 4.5 plus 100. Let's see. Over 2.5 rounds. If you have it available, I like another over 2.5. Minus 154. I see 5 rounds of work for Sabatello and him winning on a decision. Sabatello to win by decision. Plus 140 best value. It's not a terrible line. I like Danny Sabatello a lot to beat Higo. Minus 485, though, is the best money line. It's not great. Let's see what the next lock is towards Bellator. I feel like Magomedov, I know he lost the Stots, but I still think he's that guy. Like, he's an elite level bantamweight. Minus 154, Barzola plus 140. And I mean, now Stots technically is the champion, right? He's the interim champ. Barzola was decent in the UFC, but I don't think he's ready for Magomedov. Now, we do have 5 rounds with to work. The over 2.5 at minus 415 is a hideous line because it's not worth it, but you know I'm a big fan of the over 2.5s. I like Magomedov straight money line around minus 154. I think he beats the dog Barzola, who's plus 140. How does he do it? I'm really leaning decision, though. I could see him locking up a finish. I don't think it's impossible that he was able to get a stoppage, but for me, it's low likelihood. I'm saying decision win for Magomedov. Magomedov to win by decision, just at plus 120, plus 125 best value. I really don't like the line. It doesn't get me excited. I like Magomedov to get the hand raise. I say he beats Enrique Barzola by a decision here over the course of the full 5. And I do think he's a threat in this tournament. Could give a lot of people problems. So I'm excited to see how he fares against Barzola, who's looking really good in Bellator. Did have a draw against Hani Yahya in the UFC. Granted, Yahya's a fantastic grappler, and that's Barzola's base, is using the wrestling. I think Magomedov has more tools than Barzola aside just the pure wrestling, and I think he'll match him in that department as well. So I really love Magomedov as a money line attack, especially with that close value. The next one, I have to say, I really think Alexander Shabalai is going to win a close decision against Brent Primus. He's minus 200 as the favorite. Primus plus 192, best value as the dog. I feel like we're going over 2.5. I think the over is another great one, minus 235. I see that coming through. I see Shabalai winning a unanimous decision. The line of that is just plus 110. I think the over is better. I think playing Shabalai as a money line attack isn't a bad idea. Of course, he could get a stoppage, but the likelihood is lower. I just wish the prop was a bit higher. Plus 110 is value. But to be 100% honest, I think it's high likelihood that Shabalai wins this fight by a unanimous decision over Brent Primus, stopping the takedowns, having maybe success with his own wrestling, stifling the jiu-jitsu game of Primus, and outstriking him on the feet. So I do like the Shabalai side. Now, the next lock. This one, we didn't talk about it on the breakdown, but had to dig into it a bit. I got to give Kat Zingano some love. I think she's going to beat the stocky Pam Sorensen. I really think Kat Zingano should land takedowns, control from the top position. I feel like she could even work the striking a bit. Minus 260, though. So I'm going to tell you, this is like my least favorite lock of the entire card. It's Bellator Women's MMA, and it's Kat Zingano, who we don't know how she's going to be, right? She was a 35er in her prime, now fighting at 45. Yes, she has 2 wins in Bellator. We're going to see what happens. Minus 260 Zingano, plus 236 for Sorensen. I do say Zingano to win. I'm calling it a decision. The line of that is around minus 105, so the value isn't great. Something to talk about. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 250. There's a lot of overs that I like for Bellator here, and I really feel like this is one that has a high likelihood of coming through. Those are the locks overall for Bellator 282 and UFC Vegas 57. Let's jump towards the dog section for the UFC, and if you haven't, smash the hell out of the like button. There is a good amount of dogs that I like on this UFC card. Some that surprise some people, but some that I think people expect. Number 1, Cody Durden, extremely close money dog. He's plus 110 versus JP Bays, minus 112. I see Durden out wrestling Bays, and I see Bays accepting the back position, looking for a lot of submissions, and if he gets a perfect technique in, like in Durden's being sloppy, something could happen. Likelihood to me is not going to be super high. I think Durden gets the win. I actually don't love the over here because it's a weird fight. I do think there's possibility of finish. Over 2.5 though is minus 145, under plus 115. I could see there being a finish on either side, leaning it Durden though to win a decision, but I really don't love the prop side. The straight money line of Cody Durden is what I feel is best here. So I do like Cody Durden to win money line attack, and I am leaning him by a decision, but I mean, I guess I got to bring up the line, but I really don't like it. Durden to win by decision, plus 255. It's a good line, but I'm feeling iffy about it. And if I don't feel good, I don't want to tell you guys to go throw money at it. I'd prefer attacking Durden straight money line assault. Let's talk about the next lock for the card. Christos Giagos. Actually, the next lock. The next dog, man. I'm mixing dogs and locks. But you know what? I think Christos Giagos is going to surprise people against Thiago Moises. Moises is good, but he's had a lot of close decisions. He hasn't looked great all the time. His best argument is, hey, he went 4 rounds with Islam Makhachev. Yagos plus 216, Moises minus 225. I'm saying we're going the full 3 here, which over 2.5 is a good line at minus 120 best value. And I feel like Christos Yagos is going to get his hand raised on a decision. Yagos by decision. The line plus 395. Not bad. I like Yagos, man. Underdog. I see him beating Moises. I think he's actually a better striker than Moises. I think the wrestling is going to match, and I don't think Moises is going to have that success with the jiu-jitsu as people are thinking. Yagos is a dog attack that I'm liking here, and I see him winning by a decision. The next UFC dog, I like this one here. It's definitely close. It's not a crazy line, but Rodolfo Vieira to beat Chris Curtis plus 130. Curtis minus 122, Vieira plus 130, right? But what I like from this one, what I really do like is the submission prop, because I really have a feeling Vieira by sub plus 195. I guess the value of it I don't like as much now. Plus 195 though, I'm feeling it coming through. I've had some good luck with the sub calls. Kevin Holland last week. This one here, the value does suck though. I was hoping to see plus 250. I thought it was plus 250, but that was a misread. Vieira plus 195 by submission. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't like the over-unders here. I think you're in a risky fight where both guys could get finished. I think maybe fight doesn't go the distance. Ends inside, oh my God, minus 700. Under 2.5, minus 365. Under 2.5, minus 365, but it's ugly as hell. I don't want to touch the under 1.5. I like dog side. Rodolfo Vieira maybe win by submission. You're seeing a finish here. I think it's extremely likely on either side, though. Risky, but I'm going underdog, Rodolfo Vieira. Now, as far as this next dog, it's not even essentially a dog. It's kind of a tricky situation, because if you look at Chukwi versus Ulberg, it's a pick'ems fight. I just have to include it because there is one line that has Chukwi as a very slight dog, minus 102. I do think Tefon Chukwi is probably going to win, so I'm going to include him as the final dog for the UFC. Bellator dog side, I'm more talking main card. You know, I like betting those big Bellator fights rather than risking it early. I mean, of course, Khalid Moto wouldn't be a terrible underdog early. I feel like, though, as you get to the big fights, the possibility of Brennan Ward losing to Cassius Kane, listed as Cassius Holdorf here, but I'm calling him Cassius Kane. I have a feeling Brennan Ward may gas out and get stopped. He didn't look great in that comeback fight. He fought a 10-10 guy. Even though Cassius hasn't been fighting great competition, he's been more active. And I have a feeling he could surprise people. I like the dog, plus 226, Hodruff. And I'm going to say your best bet in this fight is ends inside of the distance. I can't see it going long. Minus 195 for fight ends inside of the distance. I have a good feeling that it does end inside of the distance. Cassius, plus 226 dog. Could be the one to get the KO here. Looking at the KO for Cassius, it is sitting at plus 460. The Ward side is plus 140. What is Cassius by decision? Plus 515. I see Cassius winning. I see him getting his hand raised. I feel like he gets it done. I'm going to call it by KO, though. But I like the money line dog attack. I love Brennan Ward. So as a fan, I'll be rooting Ward. But the value is all over Cassius over what I think is going to be a bit of, even though he fought, still a little ring rust left on Brennan Ward, who also is all or nothing. He's going to put it all out there, and he definitely can get hurt against Cassius. Some decent dog attacks there. I do want to jump towards the prop betting side of things. More just extra props. You guys know, if you watch the show, I like to talk about what I think is some extra quality props to play. Now, first one. To me, playing Parisian and Baudet, money line on either side, isn't a great idea. But with two slow plodding heavyweights, I don't know why. I think there's going to be a lot of clinching against the cage, and the fight's going to go over a round and a half. So I do like minus 180 Parisian Baudet over a round and a half. I don't think it's a bad idea to look at that line, maybe touch it lightly, maybe add in a parlay, something to talk about certainly. I do feel like the fear is reasonable because you got two big heavyweights, but guys that not elite talents, and also proven to go long a lot in the past. I'm going the over there. Next one, I do think Tefon Chukwi. We talked about him a little bit as a dog, but we didn't go into the prop side because it's pretty much even money. I'm going to say Chukwi by decision is a good play. Plus 375 for Tefon Chukwi to win by decision. Don't mind that at all. I actually think that's pretty good. Chukwi by decision plus 375. I think that's actually a quality play, guys. Sleeper potential like sniper Hail Mary shot on Chukwi to win by a decision. Now, the next, I'm going to jump towards the side of Bellator because I feel like there's a fight that is definitely ending inside of the distance that we didn't talk about. Sabah Homasi, Meika Mendoza. I see a finish between these two. I don't care about the money line. Either side that you're on, under 2.5 rounds, minus 120. I have a feeling we're going to see this fight go under 2.5. And at minus 120 value, it's something that I personally want to jump on for Bellator. I really like, if you're playing the earlier prelims, I don't know why, I just like looking towards more so on the time props as opposed to throwing heavy down on money line assaults for anyone in the prelims. Granted, Sabah's fairly proven. Macon has fought over LFA, has been in Bellator. But I think that Sabah Homasi has a good shot of winning it. But I prefer the under 2.5 rounds at minus 120 in what should be an interesting fight for sure. I see a finish there, certainly. Now, we talked some props. We talked the locks. We talked the dogs. I'm going to jump towards the parlays, so make sure you guys smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Keep it locked in here at MMA Experts. We've got tons of content dropping all week, and I'll be live for the card on Saturday, UFC Vegas 58, which should be a blast. So definitely tune in. Let's talk about maybe the parlay of the week, like the safer parlay of the week. If you watch Moneyline, I might load this one up as my Moneyline $100 parlay. Plus 115, Rakhmonov, Sergey Morozov. If you're looking to lie on the safer side, I do think this is a decent one. You could add in the likes of Sarukian. It only jumps you to plus 192, which isn't great, but it's still better plus money. For now, I am going to remove Sarukian. Maybe we go towards touching. It's hard for me, but I do think Batista. I have him written down as adding in Batista, but it's a little bit concerning. Plus 246. He's a lock, though. I see him winning. 3 quality favorites. I like that we're not totally out of hand with just like minus 300 faves. But for a second, I'm going to take Batista off and put TJ Brown. It still brings you to plus 200 money. That's quality. You add both of them in, plus 411. I see that one probably coming through. If you wanted to maybe risk it, which dangerous territory. Where's the under that I'm looking to add here? The Bondet over, excuse me. Did we do it? Plus 687. Bondet Parisian over a round and a half. Could be a play right here. Be cautious with your damn parlays. But I do think it's a possible outcome of like, yes, let's go. This one here, the over 1.5, maybe that's an even better piece, but you could play both of them. The over 1.5s for each. You'll bring it nearly plus 1,136. That's a really good plus. Of course, these are Hail Mary lottery ticket style plays. The Rakhmonov Morozov one I like a lot. I also like Rakhmonov playing him with TJ Brown, but it's just not great value. And I mean, I'm trying to get you guys a little bit hype on the value. I got to give some quality, potential instead of just like minus 150 for a parlay. Jinyu Frey's another great addition, plus 1612. Of course, you can pick and choose for this. You don't have to just do this. These are just plays that I like a lot. Plus 1612 would be fantastic value. I do want to clear the slate, though, and I want to talk about a cross parlay between Bellator and UFC. You guys saw I didn't include Gegard Mousasi as a lock, and that's because I have a ton of respect for Johnny Eblen. I'm picking Gegard. Note that. He should win the fight, and he's not a terrible bet. But Johnny Eblen is a very difficult fight. He's like this new age hybrid MMA fighters that come from the wrestling base but develop really good stand-up. Still, I don't think Mousasi's a terrible play, just to give you guys the honest truth on that one. But I feel like Magomedov being loaded in a parlay isn't a terrible idea. Could potentially go Shabalai Magomedov plus 138. Let's say you're not feeling the Shabalai side, but you do like Magomedov. Let's see what we get if we added Sabatello. It's not great, but minus 104 is better than minus 155. Magomedov, mix that in, the OV with the OV, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Magomedov, and then you also threw down Nurmagomedov, you get plus 130. But I feel like maybe playing Morozov. I like the OVs at the end, guys. This right here, the OV play, it's Magomed Magomedov, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Sergey Morozov for plus 254. I think this is one of the best cross plays you can do all week, and I feel like the likelihood of cashing is fairly high. Some people might not be on Magomedov. I'd assume a lot of you like Shabalai, plus 211 for that. I'm less excited about it. Let's see if we had Sabatello in and Magomedov, plus 322. I don't think that's a terrible idea, too. I feel like if you're looking to mix multiple, plus 322 of like extremely confident picks, it's a good play. Now, I did say I was going to bring up Nate Maness, so this is for the folks that stuck around till the end. Nate Maness is an absolute stud fighter. Umar Nurmagomedov has a very legit shot at beating him. But to not throw a couple bucks at my guy, to me, would be a disrespect to him. So personally, I am lightly playing Nate Maness. Very small play. Sprinkle it. But it could come back nice for you. Plus 650 if maybe you threw 50 on it, depending what your unit size is. I don't think it's a terrible idea to shoot the shot because Maness trains his ass off. And, I mean, the guy's overall just good shit. But I am picking Umar Nurmagomedov. These OVs, man, I'm telling you. I'll go all OV play again for like the final one, because I am damn curious now what the line would look like if we went with the all OVs through and through. Magomedov, Rakhmonov, Nurmagomedov, and Morozov. Plus 294. I think if you're looking to play all OVs, you have to shoot for all four of these guys. I see them all getting their hand raised. I think this is a great play if you're looking to cross things up. Guys, another blast of an episode of this week's Best MMA Bets. I hope you got a pretty quality perspective of the betting side. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you have some parlays you want to listen to me, because shit, I love hearing your guys' takes. If you don't have anything to say, but you just enjoy the hell out of the content, drop a W in the chat for your boy. I hope you enjoyed Moneyline. Tomorrow it's going to be a blast of a show. Cannot wait for it with my guy Mike Finch. Also have a legit odds maker coming on. We're going to grill him with some questions. So if you stuck around to the end and hear this, load me some questions in the comments that you want to ask this odds maker, because I'm about to write some serious ones out because I'm super curious how they're getting these lines sometimes. Much love, my people. Smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications too. I appreciate each and every one of you. Much love, guys. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody, and have a fantastic night.